In this video we have a trigonometric integral to evaluate, and I always look for a U-substitution to start off with these integrals. If I have a sine and cosine involved, depending on what I have, I might let U equal to cosine of the angle and see if I can set this up in terms of the variable U. On this one here we have tangent and secant involved. I know the derivative of secant is secant tangent. Derivative tangent is secant squared. Let's see what we can do if we write this. I'm going to take the secant to the numerator. This is secant to the 1/2. Square root of secant, same thing as secant to the 1/2. So if I take it upstairs here, this will be secant to the negative 1/2. And then I'll have the tangent squared of x here. And then the extra tangent, I'll put it over here on the side. So that's the same thing. Take this up, changes the exponent to a radical to a negative 1/2 here. And then tangent squared times tangent still gives me tangent cubed. And now I got the dx right here. And then I know the derivative of secant is secant of the angle times tangent of the angle. So let's do this here. Let's put a secant here, secant of x, and tangent of x. And then I got the dx. Now I can't just put the secant of x there because then I change the problem. But if I multiply this integrand by secant, that's fine as long as I divide by secant. Because notice secant over secant is 1, so I haven't changed it. So I'm going to bring this secant over x here, and then take that up to the top. That'll be secant to the negative 1. So let me just change this then to the negative 3/2. Is that the same thing? We've got tangent squared, tangent of x. That's still tangent cubed, so I still got that there. And then remember the power here is 1, and the power on this one, on this secant, is negative 3/2. So 1 and a negative 3/2 is the negative 1/2. Which is what I had, so it doesn't change it. So now what I'm going to do is let U equal to secant of x. Then du would be the derivative of secant of x, which would be secant of x tangent of x, and then this would be dx. Now let's see if we can transform this integral into one involving the variable u. So this could be the integral of, and then secant here, that's your u, so I'll just replace it. We're going to convert this to the variable u. So this is u then, secant to the negative 3/2, so it'll be a negative 3/2 here. And then remember the tangents, this tangent squared is 1 plus tangent squared. So I got a 1 plus tangent squared of x is equal to secant squared, same angle, of x. That's one of your fundamental identities from trig. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace this tangent squared by secant squared minus 1. In other words, I'm going to break this over to this side, change the sign. Tangent squared then will equal to secant squared of x minus 1. So I'm going to put it right here, but remember the secant is u, so instead of secant squared I'm going to write u squared here, and then this will be minus 1. And then this right here, secant of x, tangent of x, dx, from over here, that's your du. Now we can go ahead and multiply through there by u to the negative 3/2. So u to the negative 3/2 multiplied by u squared. We add the exponents here, so this will be a u here. This will be to the 1/2 minus 3/2 plus 2. And then multiplying by minus 1, we had minus u to the negative 3/2. Now we have u to the 1/2 here minus u to the negative 3/2 du. We just integrate here with respect to u. I'm going to bring it over here, equals to basic integration here. We add 1 to the 1/2, I get 3/2. And then I divide the coefficient by 3/2. Just gives me a 2/3 here as a coefficient. And then it's for the next one, it's going to be u, and we add 1 to this. Minus 3/2 plus 1 gives you a minus 1/2 here. And then we divide the coefficient -1 by -1/2. This will give you a plus 2. And then you have your constant of integration. And then we just go back to the original variable. To go back and replace the u by, here's the substitution, secant. So we can just write this as 2/3. And I just put this in parentheses here. And it's secant of x to the 3/2 power. And it's plus, then I have a 2. Again, I put it in parentheses. I could put it right there. But just to be clear here, I do it this way. Secant of x. This is to the minus 1/2 power. And then it's plus the constant of integration. So final answer then, 2/3 multiplied by secant of x to the 3/2 power plus 2 multiplied by secant of x to the -1/2 power plus the constant of integration. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.